Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are my snipers doing today? I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Listen, today we're going to be talking about which coins follow the global liquidity according to the settings we have. So, I'll give a prime example with Turbo. We know Turbo 100% follows it to the T, right? We know even with Bitcoin, we've proved it time and time again that there's a 91-day delay when we take it from the tops to this coin's tops, when we take it from this bottom to these coins bottoms, right? 91 day delay. But we want to check out other coins. Now, I think I've only checked render out with the settings, so I'm actually going to be very, very curious, and this might be a little bit of a different type of video where we just go over things one by one. So let's just start off with AKT, and maybe we'll look at other meme coins too. We can see if we take the global liquidity top and go here, it was actually 84 days, so it was still close. It was a week away, but we can see it was 84 instead of 91. And if we go here, we can see it was 91 for the red. So a week difference. This is why I'm not going to literally follow this to, like life or death. I'm always going to be looking at selling slightly earlier, right? Especially something like using our 4-week rule that we talk about on this channel, where it goes 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks up. Usually by sometime the 4th week, you should be selling. Sure, even though there was another week of pumps, yeah, you could have got a little bit higher, but then, straight dumps right after. And for me, psychology, I always would rather sell a little bit early where it pumps a little bit more than knowing that I was actually up there with those extra gains and now it's going back down. It just hurts me way less. Like if I sold a little bit early, like 10, like let's say 10 to 20% earlier, that hurts me, like let's just say on a scale of like 2.5, 3 out of 10. But if I knew I saw those profits and they already dropped like 20% below where I could have sold, then it's going to hurt me like 8 out of 10. That's just how it is, or even 9 out of 10, depending on how much I already let go, right? But we can see AKT, right? A lot of the coins should have a similar type of theme, right? If we take this, we can see render also 84. If we take it from the bottom, render is 91. So a lot of these coins may be very, very similar. Now, if we remove the drawings for Caspa is actually very, very unique, okay? Caspa is very, very unique because it has a unique structure, but it still may follow similar rules. And we can see, right, 84 days for Caspa 2. By the 91st, it was already gone. If we take it from the bottom here, 91. So some coins are peaking a little bit earlier. So we'll just have to be wary about that. What about this bottom over here? That's 126 days. So we can see when Caspa is a little bit different. It's a little bit different. What about from this top? Green candle, 91 days. So yeah, this wouldn't have been a bad one. So in recent times, 91 days has been overall very, very solid with most coins. Oh God, Myro is just Myroing. Let's see. We could see the top. Yeah, 90. Wait, this is 91 days already sold off. So its peak was actually 63 days. Its second peak was at 84. So way earlier, way earlier with something like Myro. It should still be something similar. No, it was 98 days. So see, there's a bigger delay. It got delayed by practically a week more. And even the next weekly candle, we can see it's just like this little thing. So like 2 weeks delay before start to see some type of pump, which is usually what you really don't want to see. Myro is not very intertwined, with the whole manipulation. There's not a lot of institutional money behind it. So it is why, I'm staying away from a coin like Myro now. We take this to here, we can see 84 days it peaked, but actually, its first peak and the second peak was 126 days. 126. So would it be this second peak over here? Yeah, second 91 days. But see, it's never promised. A double pump is never promised. I think it's just because the context of XRP was a little different. If we take this, you see 91 days. So it's playing perfectly, right? Which is what you want to see. Most institutional coins, most coins that follow the money should be having a similar top, 84 days. So we can see a lot of coins are actually a week earlier, but you can see, something like ICP actually hasn't really pumped that much. Its first big candle was 126 days later, which actually probably most likely was this bottom over here. Yeah, 98. That's like the closest we got to. So yeah, because this was the last bottom. So if we take the last bottom to the last bottom, boom, 91 days. So we can see the global liquidity was delayed for ICP. right? Which is not what you really want to see. Overall, expect not XRP, Ethereum to be pumping very soon. Let's just remove the drawing so there's not too many things. If we take this, it should be also 91 days. Yep, 84, 91. I mean, 91, you still could have got decent. So some coins are just peaking a week earlier. 91 days was the last sell candle, and then we can see we start to explode in very recent times. Turbo, we already covered. Let's see something like radium. Take radium from here, from this top to this top. Ooh, we can see that's actually way later, like way off. It's 91 days was here. So it peaked 70 days after the global liquidity top, and then it peaked 126 to 133 days, which means this little bump over here was technically around the 91 days. So I'm not a big fan of when coins don't align with global liquidity. I already know in the crypto markets that not every coin is going to be pumping at the same time, but it really makes it easier when it does. Like the bottom was pretty much 91 days in and it's been recovering ever since. See something like Pangolin. I mean, Pangolin is just kind of, there's not too much institutional money yet behind it, which is a little bit concerning. You can see 84 days, over here before it started to dump. Let's see the bottom, 91 days. And then it hasn't really had a big pump. Like I know this coin moves in bursts, you know, there's still a lot going on in terms of them doing version 3. Boom. Let's see the top, 84 days. The second top was 126. So it seems to me that a lot of coins had another pump right here when it comes to global liquidity. Right, the bottoms seem to be very accurate. So it just seems like, you know, the bottoms, every coin has reversed practically at 91 days except for Myro. And yeah, I mean, that's a good sign. You want your coin to kind of align with global liquidity. You really do. If you take it from here to here, right? So it's 126 days, so it's the second pump. Boom, very easy. Take it from here to here, 84 days. So some coins, I mean, the coins that had a huge rally in November, some of them got a second pump, you know, a couple weeks later too. So I guess that's a context. Let's see the last, I mean, this is kind of the last candle, but then we never really pumped again. It looks like we're going lower for XDC. So it's a little bit concerning, right? That's not what you really want to see. We take this, I mean, this is just 42 days. This is 84. So we actually peaked way earlier for DIA, like way earlier, which probably would be this top over here, right? Not even. So that's something that I don't like, right? This coin peaked way earlier than global liquidity was, you know, connected with the crypto markets, which is way harder for it to be more predictable in the future. So the bottoms are the same, but sometimes the tops are a little bit earlier, which is concerning because, you know, if let's say hypothetically this was the top of global liquidity, let's just say, right, your coin already could have potentially peaked somewhere here or here, which is why you have to always pay attention, right? You have to pay attention, which is why I'm doing this video, right? If you hold any of these coins, pay attention to this because, you know, even though right now it suggests that we should be peaking mid-July somewhere, if we go 91 days out, you know, the data before doesn't necessarily show that we will be peaking at that time. Now we see something like Ondo. Ondo was peaked 91 days, so perfect. And of course, the bottoms are probably the same thing. So yeah, 91 days. So I do expect Ondo to also be pumping soon. And of course, this coin is just doing its own thing right now, just because of the great news that's been coming out. And a lot of, you know, people are talking about it now. It's just going on the radar. But we can see, ladies and gentlemen, that is practically it. Right, we can see Bitcoin is expected to be heading down, one final dip before its pump, right? The final dip is right now 91 days, but right after it's going to be green. So look, you've seen most coins do follow roughly that 84 to 91 days. Some coins are perfect with 91 days. A lot of coins were 84 days, and then some coins did not. You know, they were just kind of their own thing where they peaked later, or most of them actually peaked even way earlier. So just be paying attention to that, because remember, not every coin is going to peak at the same time, and this will apply for altcoin season too. This will, because your coin might peak at the beginning of altcoin season. Your coin might peak where most coins pump, right, around that same time frame, maybe a week this way, a week that way, or they might pump even like or burst up 2 weeks after that, right? So it's just, we have to be paying attention to your coin. It's why it's better to have a few coins than, like 15, 20, or 25, or even more than that, right? That is Leisure. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye. Portfolio reviews, economic and global updates and news, frequent up-to-date technical analysis, and a very supportive community. Sell and buy calls and trading education is provided. If that sounds good to you, now is the time to act. Once the markets start moving, there is no I should have, coulda, woulda. Now is the time. If you want to take things to another level, we have the blueprint that covers everything from A to Z in crypto that you need. No fluff, no bullshit, just the most important news, fundamentals, and technicals to have you succeed in these markets.